This video is going to cover the topic of a flipped class and notes. Follow along and write and record what you see and hear in your spiral. The first thing I want you to do is draw two straight lines, one at the top of your page. It will look something like that. The other will be down the left-hand side. Neither of these spaces need to be super big. Maybe they should be about an inch, right? Or a little over an inch. Just the width of a ruler will do if you're drawing and using that as a straight edge. Now that we have that, we're going to write the date and topic in the top right corner. We do this every time we do video notes. It gives you the ability to go back and quickly find your notes on any particular topic. So make sure you have it there right now. The next thing we do is record the essential question. And we do that right here above the top line. And we do this every time, right? So I always start by saying the essential question, and let me tell you what that is for this video. The essential question for this video is, what is a flipped class and how do we take notes? Okay. So make sure you always record that every single time. From here, we're going to use the space below to record the lesson. If I write something down, so do you. The first thing we're going to write down is, what is a flipped class? So go ahead and write that there, and then I'll give you some information. So a flipped class is called flipped because it's kind of backwards, right? So instead of me talking at you in class and then you doing homework out of a book, we flip it. You watch your teacher's video to learn a topic. So you'll watch a video I make to learn a topic, and then we'll practice the material together in class. And even before distance learning, we've been doing flipped classes here at our school. And I'm going to show you why, and you're going to jot this down. One reason is that you can watch the video more than once if you need to. If we're in class, if I say something and I'm done explaining it, you can't really hear it again, right? But a video, you can hear it as many times as you need to. Another reason is that if I'm explaining something in a video and you miss something, you can stop and go back and rewind. You can't really do that with me if I'm talking to you live in class, right? I can't really rewind. Another great reason is that there's no one around to distract you. So sometimes your friend might be making funny faces in class, or a classmate's kind of being noisy, or sometimes even a little annoying. It's hard to focus sometimes, right? But that's not a problem when you're by yourself and you have your headphones on and you're just listening by yourself. And also, when we're in a flipped classroom, it means that everyone can do the work in class at their own level. Once we all watch the video, right, at the night before class, when we come into class, some students might need some more examples and instruction, and others might know it right away, and everyone can do what they need to be successful in class that day. When we're watching these videos, I always require you to take notes and write down everything you see, and the question is, why? So I'm going to explain that here too. One reason is that in this class, we don't have we don't have a textbook. So your spiral is your textbook. You're creating a reference guide. There's no other book for us to reference together. Your notes will show you what we're working on and how we're looking at math ideas. Another reason is when you're just listening to something, sometimes you don't process it all the way. Writing it down helps your brain store the information. You're more likely to remember it if you've gone through the process of writing it down while you're listening. Writing your notes down is also the way I know that you've watched the video, right? If you don't have your notes, I don't know that you watched it, right? It lets me know that you have the information, and if I need you to reference it, I can send you back to go look at it. And taking notes in our spiral means we have everything in one place. If you write things down on loose pieces of paper, it's super easy to lose them. This is all just in one notebook, easy to find, nice and tidy. And we can use the back of the page, right? So we're going to save some paper. I need a second page. If you're with me, you can just flip to the back of the page you're on. If you still have space on your page that you're on right now, just keep going. So I had to turn the page. Maybe you did too. If you did, just go ahead and draw the lines on the back of your paper and keep going. But one thing I want to point out now is what else we can add to our notes. While you're watching and recording, you might want to highlight some important vocabulary or ideas that you come across, right? That will make it easier for you when you go back to look for information. You also might be confused about something that you hear, right? So over here, you can ask a question. And then you'll remember to ask it later right? If you jot it down, you can jot down a question there or a thought or idea that you have. That's what the margins are for. You also can summarize the idea of the video at the end. You can write just a sentence or two, right? To just kind of recap what the video was about. Once we have the notes, the next question I'm going to record here is what we should do with our notes. So what should we do with our notes? We've done all this work to record everything down in our spiral. One thing is that you should always bring them with you to class, right? So when we have our meets, bring your spiral with your notes with you so that if we are working on something, which we will be, you can reference them. You should also reference them anytime you're stuck even outside the meets, right? If you're working on an assignment during asynchronous time, you'll want to make sure that you have them handy to look at, or if you're working on a project or even taking a quiz, you might want to have those notes available so you can answer questions you might have. You'll also need to take a picture, one that I can see, right? One that's clear and legible, and upload the picture of your notes to Canvas. That's part of your homework assignment or part of your independent time. When you do a video, take your notes, upload a picture of them. And just know that if I can't read them or see them or the picture's blurry, I'm going to probably ask you to redo it. So be careful the first time. And of course, we want to know when we need to watch the videos. The videos will be assigned on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, your afternoon assignments for after school. You'll want to watch them before you come to class. Otherwise, you won't know what's going on when you get to class, right? We will be using that information together in class the following day. However, I will post them earlier. So if you want to get ahead for the week, you can always watch the videos in advance if you'd like. The last thing that some people ask pretty often is how long the videos are, right? How long will the videos be? They're not really long. The videos themselves are usually somewhere between 5 to 9 minutes long, but you doing your video assignment should not take 5 to 9 minutes. Your video assignment should probably take around 20 minutes, sometimes more, sometimes less, but around 20 minutes. And the question is, why do you think it would take longer than 5 to 7 minutes? I want you to take a moment to pause the video and write down why you think it might take longer than the time of the video to finish your assignment. So go ahead and record in thought. Hopefully you thought to yourself, well, the videos take time because you have to stop and think and write and answer questions. And that might be why it takes you about 20 minutes. At the end of every video, I retell you what the essential question was. So remember that the essential question of this video was, what is a flipped class and how do we take notes? Hopefully you know that now, right? You have some information you can look back on. Your task is to upload the picture of your notes into Canvas, as you will do every time we do one of these assignments.